And welcome back. David Bellman here with my panel and co-hosts and our special guest today, Danielle, who is coming to us from Nashville, Tennessee, correct?
Yeah.
All right. And Danielle has her own blog called Gem Gossip at gemgossip.com. We showed that in our first segment, a little bit of her homepage, which was very cool. And now we're going to talk a little bit about something that you're doing, which is a jewelry roadshow, which I find fascinating. Please tell me about that.
Yes, it's my hashtag jewelry road trip. So I came up with this idea, and I decided to launch it actually on stage at JCK in Vegas when I was doing the JCK talks. Did a really cool panel. It was called The Power of Blogging. You can actually see it on YouTube. I have it in my About section on my website. But I got this idea of visiting different jewelry stores, different jewelry designers, and just people in the jewelry industry that there's so many of them. And the U.S. is huge. When you start to travel, you realize, like, there's a lot out there to cover, and there's really not an outlet that kind of has one big directory where you can see, like, these are stores we recommend, this, what's inside the actual store, like, websites. Some stores have websites, some don't. So I really wanted to kind of show my perspective. So,
Wow.
we would pick a city, say San Francisco, and we would sometimes announce it, sometimes we don't announce it, but we announce it on our Instagram, hey, we're going to San Francisco, please contact me if you are, a designer, a store owner, or an antique jewelry shop.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of set up all the appointments and go out to the city, and I bring along a photographer, which is, I would say 80% of the time, usually my husband. Okay. And we visit the stores and we take pictures of, the store in general, the outside of the store, the inside, the cases, and then, myself interacting with the people who work there, the manager, the owner, the designer themselves. Oftentimes we even go to designers' houses. So you really get an intimate look into whether it's their studio or their house. It's a whole package of like an inside look into a city and what their jewelry story is all about.
And that must give you a ton of content to talk about. I mean, every store, has a history about it, right? And their family history, if it's a family store, things like that.
Yeah, I've come across so many interesting stories, and I'm so excited to get to share all this information with my audience and my readers. And can you hear my dog?
Maybe just a little bit, but that's cool. That's part of our show. That's what makes it fun.
I think it's the UPS man. But yeah, so I will usually live show everything live on my Instagram. Like if I'm there, I will post like, hey, we're in San Francisco today, and show pictures of, our visit, sneak peeks into it. And then usually it'll take an entire week, maybe a week and a half to cover all of what, I just found at the city. So it's a lot of content, and my followers just really love it. Yeah. And the main goal really is to find some awesome jewelry and to connect this jewelry with people that might not necessarily be able to travel to that certain store. Like recently we went to Ohio. This woman sells jewelry, antique jewelry online through Etsy and rubylane.com. And you don't get to see the jewelry on someone. So I went there and I styled it on my hands and, wearing necklaces layered different ways. And, I had a few Instagram followers actually buy all of the pieces because they loved how I styled it, or, they necessarily didn't really see the piece, or didn't catch their attention online in like a high-res image, for example. But, once they see it on a hand or something like that, it puts it into a different perspective. It makes it come alive.
That's really cool. I mean, you could probably also have a hand modeling career if you were selling so many rings by just wearing them. In fact, we're looking at one of the pictures right now with a bunch of, what are those, cabochon type stones that are in there? It looks like citrine, amethyst, blue topaz.
They look faceted.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
So.
Oh, the first picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are faceted. They're kind of like, those are created by Shamila Fine Jewelry out of Seattle, and she has those all specially cut. They kind of look like crystal balls.
Oh yeah, no, that's very nice.
Danielle, has your roadshow taken you up to New England at all?
No, and I really want to get out there. I've been to Broomfield.
Oh yeah, that's this week. That was what was all this week going on right now?
Yeah. Sad I'm not there.
In New England, there's a lot of cool, because there's so much, such a historical area. There's tons of little antique vintage jewelry shops. You have Portsmouth, Newport. There's just so many little areas with cool, funky little antique jewelry stores. It's really, you'd love it up here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to this summer. It's hard. A lot of times, during the winter, I want to go places, but I'm like, do I really want to travel through the snow and like unpredictable winter weather? So
no, the summer was a good call.
Yeah, wait until the summer.
No, most definitely. Do we have a couple of more pictures, guys, of some of the jewelry collections that either you've seen or own? I like that first one. Oh, here we go. This is a collection of 4 rings, and then I'm doing this for Danielle's purposes too, because she knows which picture we're looking at. And then the background looks like a multicolored necklace. Where did these items come from?
That was in Seattle at a store called Twist. They have the most amazing selection of designers. They choose really awesome, eclectic designers. For example, all those rings I'm wearing are very great examples of alternative engagement rings. It's not your typical DVVS stone. They all kind of, have some color, but it makes them really unique.
Yeah, kind of earthy, which is kind of sounds like what you'd expect in Seattle, right? Everybody up there is a little bit more into all natural, kind of organic kind of an area.
Yeah, it's interesting when you travel, you kind of see, the styles of the general public in each city, and you kind of match it up with the jewelry stores that are there. It's cool.
Rachel, what chance do you think we'd have of selling some of these designs here in New Hampshire?
I don't know about in the store. I mean, I should say a lot of people are attracted to our estate case in the store. Mm-hmm. That's like one of the first cases they run to.
But these don't look like estate, are they?
But these...
No, they're new.
Oh, just from a style. I'm just saying from a style point of view. It's so different here than there, getting a woman's perspective.
So if someone came in to buy an engagement ring, would they... Yeah,
It'd be tough.
Danielle, we were
taking...
Because the girls need to, the women need to appreciate this type of jewelry.
Right.
And they don't see this all the time. They see just the typical round, brilliant cut and
with
a halo.
Yeah, in the fashion magazines and in a lot of the bride magazines. Like a Decory, somebody like that.
Looking at the ring on the left, we were actually taking a poll the other day, Rachel. Remember when you're wearing a pear-shaped as a ring? Which way do you face the point? Towards you or towards your fingernail?
I usually do it the opposite of the picture, so the point would be towards my fingernail. But
yes.
All right,
what is that? What
job,
both you said?
I didn't give an answer. I never knew which way to put it.
Oh.
And so I was just curious.
I think that's the fun thing about a pear shape. You can change it up, so it actually kind of looks totally different when you wear it the different way.
Right.
Kind of hard to do that with a marquee.
Or around.
Okay. Let's see what we have for another photo coming up here. Oh boy, this is a gigantic collection. Is this part of your personal collection? We're seeing about 1,000 rings in ring boxes.
Oh, yes.
And some earrings on the left and a bunch of...
That is my jewelry box.
Wow.
That's my personal jewelry box. It looks a little different now because I've honestly sold a bunch, especially in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's typically, that's an everyday
I
occurrence.
definitely get a sense of your style now. You like long rings. In fact, I noticed, and I'll have you put your hands up in a minute when you come back, but to show us some of the rings that she's wearing now. But it's some of those longer finger rings like that.
Well, I was just about to ask her, did she sell some of those longer finger rings? Because I'll tell you, those for me, when I'm working with the dealers at least, that style has become more difficult to sell, those antique long rings. They tend to gravitate now. They're all asking for antique rings that look like more of a single stone towards an engagement ring. The longer ones are more difficult to sell. Do you find that too, Danielle, when you were selling them?
You can give me those long rings. I can sell them.
Oh, awesome.
I can also buy them.
Well, you don't sell to dealers, right? You sell mostly to privates?
Yeah, I mostly sell to people who ever follow me.
Got ya.
Yeah. Show us some of the rings that you're wearing. I know it's not going to be perfectly, in focus, but just show us what you're wearing today. What do you have on your hand? Look at that.
Long. Yeah. All long.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're coming out good. We can see them really well.
Oh,
now, are they all antique, or are they some of them reproductions? What are they? Where do they come from?
Yeah, everything on my hand is probably like turn of the century.
Wow.
Except I would say my engagement ring is Victorian, and this little midi ring I like to wear is Victorian.
Wow.
Rachel, let's take her contact information down.
I was just going to say, I want your entire jewelry box.
Yes.
You know what's funny? I don't see a lot of the long rings like that, and so I'm surprised. That
I'm glad we made this connection because they're all coming out. When I have them, I can't sell them.
Yeah, it all depends on who your market is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hard to find. It's kind of like when I see them, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you get that, like your heart drops and you're just like, I have to have it.
I get that feeling a lot, but then I can't have it.
Well, keep working on it. It's interesting. I just wanted to bring this up really quick because I don't think a lot of people realize how much work goes into, and you were mentioning it before in the first segment, how it's a lot of work to come up with a new blog post every day. It's obviously for you a full-time job or a full-time passion. And then to do this traveling all around the country, I have to say I'm really impressed that you taking this on as you have and have made basically a career out of it.
Thank you. That's nice to say. Yeah, I didn't start out thinking that this would be my career at all. It's honestly just a passion, and it kind of grew itself and created itself. I just kind of just keep putting out the content and listening to my audience and my followers and seeing what they want to know more about, or what are they interested in, what really resonates with them, and I just go from there. And just being able to build such a large following is kind of you realize, you have such a large audience, so you could finally be able to make some money off of this. And I wrote my blog, I would say, for maybe 4 to 5 years without any compensation. So it also takes a lot of time and patience, and realize that you can't be an overnight sensation. You can't just start putting out similar pictures or similar content and think that you can get hundreds of thousands of people to follow you and to sell things quickly and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And just for the record, for people to know that you do have, I think, in excess of 200,000 people currently following you. Is that correct?
Yes, throughout all of my social media channels and blog, yeah.
And I assume they're from all over the world, right? We automatically assume it's just the U.S., but this is the internet, so you probably have people from everywhere, correct?
Yeah, I automatically think that it's mostly people here, but I really start to learn the depth of, my reach by when I get inquiries about buying rings and wanting to know about international shipping and all that stuff. And I'm okay, most of my people that are wanting to buy, they live in Singapore, Australia, or England, and I had no idea.
Yeah, that makes it really interesting to do business, especially. I know we've had a few situations where we've done some business overseas, and it's not easy to ship. It's not easy to collect the money. It's there's a lot to it. You got to be very careful because we're talking about items that once they're out of the store, that's the end of it. If the deal doesn't come through, you could get burnt, and that's difficult. But that's nice. Do you, just one last question, because I know we're getting to the end again, but I'm just curious. What percentage of your group is, say, outside of the United States?
Not offhand. No,
yeah.
I don't. That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
I know Instagram has insights, that sort of thing. My largest audience is New York based, so that's interesting.
Well, that's a great audience to have, absolutely. And just in case you want to throw it, guys, do you have anything else that you'd like to talk to Danielle about at this point?
I don't know. I will say that when they had told me that you were going to be on here, I went to go look you up, and I was like, oh my god, I used to post your blogs on our Bellman's Online Store Facebook page, because I know how you were saying that it's tough to post things every day, and that's how I felt even trying to post one thing on our Facebook. So I'm like, I need just to post something to keep people in the loop, and so I just post your blog post on there.
Wow, that's cool.
What a small world, right? When you think about it.
I encourage that too, yeah.
And I found you. I think I just Googled jewelry blog things, and you were the first one to come up. So.
Yep, good old SEO kind of helped out.
Very cool.
Well, then of course that's how we found you as well. We were doing our research, and you came up as number one on our list, which is why we wanted you to be the first person on our show.
Yes, number one.
Yeah, and also, like you mentioned, you may come out this way in the summertime. You're certainly welcome to come by and visit us in person. And I'm sure Justin will put a nice little collection of rings together for you to show you.
I know.
Make it worth your while to come and visit him and go through his inventory, because he has quite an extensive inventory of estate jewelry as well. And and I hope that we get to stay in touch in between now and then as well, because I think what you're doing is fantastic. We love doing it. This is kind of what we want to do on the video side. It's really exciting and really nice to meet somebody who's so passionate as we are about this industry.
We're all really glad to have you on the show today.
Yeah, thanks so much. This has been so much fun, and I really hope that I make my way out there and get to meet you guys in person rather than on Skype. And
I know, because you still haven't seen us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to.
All right.
Hey, I'll send you a screen cap of the.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Howard will send you a.
So you can see.
Yeah, so you can see how it looks before we put it out on Sunday.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much again, and that is a great interview. I really enjoyed doing that. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you. That was fun.
Let's just plug her website one more time. It's gemgossip.com. Lots of
and then all your social media, is that just all Gem Gossip?
Right. Yep.
Excellent.
Gem Gossip.
Okay.
All right. Well, once again, we are going to end this segment. We'll be back in just a minute, and then we're going to talk about a very interesting ring that has got my attention, which is the World Series ring for the Cubs.